All right, you guys, let's talk about it. We got to talk about it. I need you to change your environment. I need you to change the people that you hang out with because that can either be the best thing for you or it can be your downfall. It can be your downfall. And I know we've heard like birds of a feather flock together and, like minded individuals. And honestly, that is so true. It is so true. I need you to be so selective on who you spend time with. Because if you're trying to be a content creator, if you're trying to, start a business, I'm telling you from experience, if you're not careful, you will find yourself around people who are literally trying to break your confidence. And I know that sounds so negative, but I can only give you the perspective that I have off of the things that I've experienced, okay? And I just want to share. So, first of all, most people don't aspire to be anything, okay? And that's cool. I'm not trying to say like, oh, you should want to have big goals and yada, yada, yada. I mean, it is what it is. It's your life. Like, if you don't want to have goals and you're cool just doing your day-to-day thing, that's cool. Like, if you are truly happy with that, that's cool. My content isn't for those people. My content is for people who are trying to do better, who want the best for themselves, who want to reach their goals. That's why I post so much motivational content, because that's the audience I'm attracting. So, you're not like that. If you watch my content, if you tune in regularly, you're not like that. You have goals. You have dreams of things you want to do, whether it's content, running a business, like whatever it is, you have something that you're working towards or that you're trying to get started up off of the ground, right? Well, unfortunately, most people don't have that. And I don't even think it's by choice, but they want to have it. They want to have dreams. They see you, even if you're just in the beginning stages, you've probably shared your ideas with somebody close to you, as most of us do. And believe it or not, not my laptop is trying to listen in on this conversation, trying to get the sauce. Just nosy. Anyway, Siri just nosy. But anyways, you probably have shared it with your close friends, whatever, right? Of course, because you're excited. But what you need to understand is people become envious of that. Because like I said, most people don't have it, but they want it. I think people want to reach a goal. They want to have goals, but there's nothing inside of them at this moment that is forcing them to change to have goals, right? Maybe they are lazy, they procrastinate, they don't believe in themselves. There could be a number of things, but that's not your problem. It's not your problem. But either way, they become envious of that. And if you're not careful, over time, people will subtly put their negative thoughts, their negative energy onto you. And if you're not careful, you might not even realize that they're doing it. They could say little subtle things here and there that will start to wear at your self-esteem, start to make you feel insecure and doubt yourself and doubt your abilities to reach your goals, okay? Because honestly, you guys, when people do stuff like that, it's really just a reflection of how they feel about themselves. Everything is a projection. Everything is a projection. I say this all the time. Everything is a projection. This video that I'm making is a projection. This is what I've experienced. This is what I told you guys a few minutes ago. So it's all a projection. But if you're not careful, it can wear at your self-esteem, okay? A lot of people are very insecure. And so here you are, you have a goal, you're working towards it, like you're really excited about it. And people want that. They see that. Your friends, people who are closest to you, they see that, right? And if you're not around the right people, they will slowly start to pick at your self-esteem and make you feel like what you're going for is impossible. They might make you feel like you're not good enough. Your idea is stupid, right? And they might not bluntly say like, oh, that idea is stupid. No, they might say other little subtle things that'll make you second guessing yourself. And maybe it is a stupid idea. Maybe I am in my head. Maybe my head is in the clouds, right? This is why it's so important to be around people who are like you. People who also have goals. People who also have a business. People who also want better for themselves. Because when you're around people like that, the energy is just so different. Okay? It is so different. It is so different, you guys. It's so different, okay? If you've never been around people like that, I need you to start trying to find them. It is so different. And if you can't find them, that's fine. Be by yourself. I spent a lot of time by myself before I started being around people who are like-minded like me. And I'm very, very, very selective on who I give my energy to, okay? You have to be you have to be like a fucking Bugatti dealership, okay? Can't nobody just go buy a Bugatti. You have to be invited. You have to be invited, okay? That's how I need you to see yourself, and that's how I need you to treat the relationships in your life. You have to exclusively invite someone to be in your circle, okay, to be next to you. Because if you are not careful, again, you will be around people who drain you, who are toxic as hell, who talk down on you, who make you second guess your own greatness. And again, I'm not sitting here saying that they're doing it on purpose. I don't know if they're doing it on purpose, but it is subconscious. But again, that's a reflection of how they see themselves, okay? People can't treat you any better than how they treat themselves, okay? But again, that's not your problem. But being around people who are like-minded, game changer. Game changer. And if you can't be around those people, then you need to spend time by yourself. Just spend time by yourself working on your craft. You don't have to be up in everybody's face. You don't have to be texting people all day. You don't have to be calling people all day. And some of you guys might be like, Jazz, well, isn't that boring? It sounds boring, but it's not. And I'm telling you, living a boring life is by far the most fulfilling life. It is the most stable life. It is the most peaceful life. I think a lot of times we mistake boring. We call things boring, but it's really peaceful. It's peaceful. And a lot of people don't know what that is because you might have grown up in a household full of chaos, people yelling at each other, right? Not all of us grew up in a peaceful environment, right? So you might not know peace. I didn't know peace, okay? I did not know peace. I recently found peace these past few years, okay? I did not know peace. But I'm telling you, peace is priceless. It is priceless. When you have structure to your life, it adds happiness I never thought I would have, okay? But when you don't have structure, when you don't have peace, that's why you start to feel you're not at ease because your life isn't at ease. But when you're around people who are also working towards their goals, when you're around people who also are structured, who also, they're disciplined, right? It's a totally different vibe. It's totally different energy, okay? You get great insights to things, but you're not going to get those insights from people who don't want shit. They can't, what kind of philosophical insights can they give you? They can't. They can't give you anything productive. So why are you hanging out with them? I want you to ask yourself, why are you hanging out with the people that you're hanging out with? What do they do for you? How do they cultivate you? How do they push you and motivate you to be better? If you can't come up with any examples or list off 5 things that they do for you to push you to be the better version of yourself, are they cheering for you? Are they clapping their hands for you? Are they telling you you can do this? Are they pouring into you? Or when you tell them your ideas, they go quiet, or they change the subject, or they ignore you, or they act like you didn't just say what you just said? Do they have you questioning your own greatness? Do they celebrate you? Because if the answer is no to any of those things, girl, guy, I need you to change your circle, okay? In order to be great, you have got to change your circle. And maybe you guys used to be great friends in the past. Well, it's over now. It's time to move on, right? Remember, most people that come into your life, they're not meant to be there forever. They're either there to teach you something or you're in their life to teach them something. They're there to teach you something and you're there to teach them something. Yes. So I think it's time to change your environment. Bye, guys.